Sir.
How are you, man?
Good, bro.
It's nice to to make this a little bit more more what's the word I'm looking for, closer together than last time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Fuck, man. So where should we start? Um, well, how's your happy Thanksgiving first of all? How's your Thanksgiving?
Well, for you.
Oh yeah, you. I keep forgetting, right?
Bro, I'm like, yeah, I'm just chilling. Like,
You
there's
guys are
nothing
next
going
month,
on.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh right.
So we got nothing going on right now.
You guys are just
Yeah.
everyday
We're
business,
just
eh?
chilling. Yeah, yeah. I mean, today was Columbus Day, but things were open. Yeah.
Today was Columbus Day.
Uh-huh.
Weren't they trying to get rid of that?
I don't know.
Cause Columbus isn't
That's
like actually.
oh yeah, all
You know what I
that
mean?
stuff.
All that
Right,
bullshit.
right.
Um, did you watched the game last night?
Works though. It's like a
Pardon?
weird holiday.
It is Columbus
But
Day.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you watched the game last night?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was all right. Wasn't what we expected. We were
Exactly.
talking about that, right? We're like, yo, this is gonna be a great podcast. Talk about it, and it's like, well,
Exactly.
there's nothing to talk about now.
I I get a voice message from you saying, "Hey, so do you want to just do it tomorrow? Because there's like nothing to talk about from this game," which is true. But like,
I was thinking, like, what could we talk about? But I'm like, man, just you know what the best thing to say, I think, when I thought about it was like, props to Jimmy for trying whatever he could to make it a series. You
bro,
know, like,
Jimmy, like, I was gonna say like, he like stamped himself in history. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just Jimmy
yeah,
Butler. He's Jimmy Butler, a legend now. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Because like the that 40 point triple double he put up,
Hmm.
like that first one they got the 40 point triple double. That
Yeah.
was the second best performance by the underdog team,
Wow.
right? And that's the
Like in
first
history?
in history. Yes. Guess who number one
Wow.
was?
Who?
It was AI. When
Wow.
he went
That's
off
cool.
against the Lakers, and
Wow.
he
That's
did a
pretty
step over
cool.
Ty Lue.
Okay. Okay.
So like, see like
That's
something like
awesome.
that. You know what I mean? Like putting your like having your name with AI like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. That's
What
pretty
else? And
sick.
then I think it was the first 40 point triple double with a win. Like LeBron had a 40 point triple double in the finals before, but he never
Yeah.
won.
Right. Right.
Jimmy did it, and I think he's the only person that has a win. Well, and no, only person that has a win because it was triple double.
Okay.
That's nuts, though.
So
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's amazing.
I
I
was,
wonder what's gonna happen to the Heat now.
bro. They're like a. I was reading some reports and stuff. They're like a hotspot now. I mean, like
Right. Hot
poor
spot.
choice of
Yeah.
words, hotspot. You know what I mean? Like all. It's a place where all stars want to go now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like
They just need a couple more pieces, right? That's what it looks
exactly.
like.
The culture there is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, mind you, like I like the Heat when it was like, uh, Shaq and Wade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Right.
But then I started hating the Heat when LeBron joined.
That's this guy
But
just
then
hates
I
LeBron.
hate LeBron so much, man. I like he's a good
You
player.
hate.
He's a good player. I respect. See, here's the thing. I respect LeBron's game.
Okay.
I respect the accomplishments he's gotten.
Right.
Is his play style my style? Not really.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. All right.
But no. Do you know? What was I gonna say? I was really happy. I was like all in all,
Yeah.
even though I do hate LeBron and everything, I was really happy that the Lakers actually won a championship,
Right.
especially with everything going on,
Yeah.
especially with like Kobe and Gigi dying,
Just like added like perfectly together.
right, bro? Because if you think about it, we started the year with the death of Kobe Bryant and Gigi,
Yeah.
and then I mean, we're a couple months off. We have 2 months left till the end of the year, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we're technically like ending the year with
Like a high note for the
a high
Lakers.
note. They dedicated that championship to Kobe and Gigi, which is amazing. Like mad respect to them. Hence why I'm wearing the Kobe jersey.
Yes, sir.
You don't see any three here. This is a four.
You're like, let it be known.
Let it be known that I'm a Laker fan because of this man.
Right.
But no, man. Like you saw what happened with Bronny, right?
Uh-huh. When he's gonna cry
with
now because his dad's coming back home.
There's like
Oh
this thing,
no.
cause he streams, right? He's a streamer,
Right,
and
right.
so there's this thing. He's like looking at the screen. All of a sudden, he goes, he looks back. He's like, "Yo, don't play with me like that."
He's done, bro. That's
But then
funny.
I see these things. It's like LeBron texting him saying, Bronny, grab an eighth. We're gonna celebrate.
Yeah, he will, bro. Watch.
Oh,
I don't think
100%, man.
LeBron's like that.
I don't like. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't think. So my theory on Bronny. So, I strongly believe that he has come to a realization that he isn't carrying as much hype as his dad did at that age.
Okay.
I mean, he's come
Right.
to a realization about that, right? So, like, I feel like that's why. Why do you think he joins FaZe Clan? You know what I mean? He's trying to like.
Yeah, bro. It's different, right?
He's trying to do something else besides basketball,
Do something different.
just
Yeah.
in case, which is smart of the
Right.
kid. And like,
Yeah.
I do believe that he did that because he's kind of like, he just felt like he actually felt like a kid, right? I mean, he didn't feel like
Right.
he
He
had
could.
obligations.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel him, and I think LeBron will get that. Obviously, he's probably
Yeah.
like, you can't do stupid shit like that because like you have to remember my name's on the line too.
Right. Right.
But
But all in all, it's gonna fade away, right? Like
all that's
it
gonna
won't.
fade
It
away,
won't hurt
bro.
him. Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna take a picture together of like a joke about it, and it's over.
Probably.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
We're gonna see that, right? So. But yeah, man. I mean, shoot. What can we say though? Other than that, well, the Lakers built themselves up. Like you see LeBron's face, but then you see, man, I'm so bad at names. We're seeing a couple other guys. I mean, obviously AD, but the other dude, what's his name? He played for the
Rondo?
Magic.
Oh,
Dude that
Dwight
played for
Howard.
the
Did you hear?
Dwight
Did you hear that video
Howard.
of his?
I didn't hear it, but I was seeing I was reading little
Snippets?
captions
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, yeah.
My opinion on that Dwight Howard thing is that first of all, Dwight Howard, congratulations. You know what I mean? But second of
Yeah.
all, fuck you. You know why? Because you had your chance with Kobe and Nash, and you decided not
Oh
to take anything
man.
seriously.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that was your prime.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That was like
That's
you're
funny that
still
you said that.
crazy. But you know what? Like, but the thing is that when he came back, or before he came back, he like sent a tweet out saying like, Lakers, if you like bring me back, like let me make it up to you.
Yeah.
And he did.
And he did. Yeah.
Like in
Okay.
certain series he did. You know what I mean? Because I really do find that the NBA is like, it's more and more obvious about matchups, like starting lineups, right?
Mhm.
I can see starting lineups to fade away to being who we facing today. All right, what matches up better, right? Instead of having
Okay.
like your regular starting five,
Okay.
you might have more guys.
Yeah, more
rotating
fluid.
on and off.
Okay. That makes
So-
sense.
You know what I mean? So, but if that happens, like
But yeah, like you said too, Rondo off the bench, he was holding it down.
he,
Yeah, yeah.
the crazy part is the last Celtics championship that the Boston Celtics won was with Rondo.
Was
And
with
the last
Rondo. Right?
championship with the Lakers is
With the-
now with Rondo.
Well, yeah, that's sick.
He's
That's
like
really
the reason. He's like the reason why the Celtics kind of like went up, and now he's the reason why the Lakers tied it. Technically.
Yeah, right, right. But that's awesome though. Like I like to see that stuff, man. Like when you see the
he
whole
balled out.
picture at the end. Yeah, yeah. Who else? Caruso.
Caruso. Do you see that picture of
That's-
Rondo like go like this, and his son's like this, and all of a sudden his son's just drinking the champagne?
I didn't see that.
What?
He's
Bro.
drinking the champagne.
It's the
Yo,
funniest thing
I'm
because like
dead.
because Rondo's like laying down. It's a great picture. It's an amazing picture. But like Rondo's like
Beautiful.
sitting down and like kind of like taking everything in. His
Uh-huh.
son's like comforting him, and then there's like a bottle of champagne. I'm pretty sure it's just like cider, it's like sparkling water, whatever.
Right, but he's lifting it up.
And then his kid, next picture, his kid grabs and he's just like this. and Rondo's
Hey.
still just, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Can't believe it. Yeah.
But like, do you do you think that this was the Lakers' toughest championship? Like, do you think this is the toughest championship to get, or LeBron's toughest championship?
No.
Not at all. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
I keep people keep saying, "Oh, this is like the toughest like championship." Blah blah blah. Like this is LeBron's toughest championship. My opinion on LeBron's toughest championship is when he beat the Warriors and came back.
Right. I was gonna say that's the only thing I could think of. Playing the Warriors was probably the craziest thing in his life.
100%. Like I think like that you cannot take away from LeBron. You know
And
what
you
I
have to see all the other games that he played leading up to play the Warriors
mean?
too.
Exactly.
He
Like,
was playing his heart out,
Yes.
like Butler, right? Like when we
Yes.
saw Butler, we're like, he's not
Yes.
gonna make it, but he was doing it, and he kept going.
Butler literally was en route to having like a 2016 LeBron finals
Yeah.
performance. You know what I mean? Like that's
Jeez.
crazy to think. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, but yeah, like I out of all of LeBron's 4 championships, there that one you can't argue. You know what I mean?
Right.
You cannot take that from him.
Right. Right.
The other ones, obviously, like the one with the Heat, it would be the argument would be you left and teamed up with 2 other like pretty big all stars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like in a
Of
sense,
course.
obviously you can win a championship with AD. Last year
Yeah.
he didn't have AD. He didn't even make the
Yeah.
playoffs last year. Mind you, he got injured. But you
Got
know what I
it
mean?
too. Right. Right.
But now you got
That's what
AD,
happens.
right? Then you get some key players around you. Now you got your, but you have to get AD, who's literally a top 5 player in the league. You know what I mean? He's probably like the best big man in the league. You know what I mean? So you have the best player in the league,
Yeah.
with the best big man in the league. So
Right. Right.
to not assume that they would get the championship is kind of silly, and to think that
It
they're
is silly. Yeah.
underdogs is kind of silly.
Of course.
Yeah,
So, you know, that's why I said like that for them to say that, that's not the case. And you have to consider the fact that this whole thing happening in the bubble. We were
Mhm.
talking about that too, like how the players had to play was just so different. The
Yeah.
season was just so different too, right? Because how
Yeah.
long did they take a break? It took like a long break.
4 or 5 months.
Imagine. And then they just had to jump into a couple weeks a game before playoffs. Like,
Exactly. But I also I take that 4 or 5 months break. That's another reason why I feel like in a sense, like this season is kind of like it's iffy because everybody had a 4 or 5 month break. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Some players probably didn't need it. Right? Everyone obviously needed it, but some players like desperately needed that.
Some
Right?
players were just chilling out because it was COVID, right? So, okay, obviously, you all had to chill home. Then there's
Exactly.
other players that took advantage of having their own gym, like LeBron,
Exactly.
at
And
his
like
home. Other people had to go to facilities, but because they're famous, they could force to have that whole
yeah,
facility to themselves.
yeah.
But then there was also players that were doing other stuff. Like, I think Trey Young, there was some other guys, they were gaming. I saw them on their game and they're doing other things because they're taking advantage of that time, not
Exactly.
specifically for basketball. So,
Like
yeah.
what was it again? What were we saying?
What else you want to talk about?
No, what were we just talking about? Oh yeah,
About Lakers, LeBron
the
is
break,
the song.
the break.
Oh yeah, the break. Yeah, yeah.
So I personally think that like for players, who have like a lot of injuries, right, or like something bugging them, that
Yeah.
4 or 5 month break was perfect for them.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. That's also
older
a big thing.
players, this 4 or 5 month break is perfect for them.
It was perfect. Yeah.
So AD has injury issues, right?
Uh-huh.
Right? Did you see him in the last couple of games? Every time he fell, he would look like he was getting hurt.
Well, yeah, he was looking
Right?
a little bit weird.
So can you imagine if you didn't have that 4 or 5 month break, you would be seeing that a lot earlier.
What would happen? Right. Yeah.
And then plus LeBron's 30. Like, don't get me wrong, LeBron
Fell down too.
Top shape, right?
He does. He spent like millions of dollars. He also
Exactly.
fell down pretty hard. Was laying there for a good second.
Yes, because he has a bad groin, and that's his worst injury. It's very easy to injure your groin again, right? Especially when you're playing basketball like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
that 4 or 5 month break again benefited LeBron and AD. And they do have some old heads on that team. You know what I mean? They do have a lot of veterans.
Right.
So that break again was perfect for them.
Right.
But I'm not taking anything away from the championship. You know what I mean? It's well deserved. They
right.
won. At the end of the day, they won. You know what I mean?
The other thing you could say too that I was thinking also because they showed the whole bracket how it ended up, right? Like how did it end up being where they ultimately won 4-2? Yeah. Look down the list, it's like they just went 4 games each time.
Yeah.
So in the other sense, it's like, well, 5 games, but I mean like they got the 4 wins straight up. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Look at it that way. How about the competition? Where is the competition? That's what I thought of. It's like, where is that competition?
Oh, wait, you're cutting out. Oh, technical difficulties. Hello? All right, one sec. You're freezing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're
You,
good.
you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
I do
What do you
hear
think the
rain
competition?
outside. I hope that ain't the problem.
Pardon?
It's raining outside, so I don't know.
I feel like it's low key raining here too. I know the wind was picking up.
I hope that's not gonna be the problem.
I hope
But
so.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Did you think about that also? Like,
Like,
really, what comes down to it? Like next season, if they still have a pretty similar team, like who is their competition?
I want to say, honestly speaking, it, to be the best, you got to beat the best. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Did they really beat the best in the West? Who's the best in the West from last year? Not like last year's, but like before they got all these injuries.
Well, it just
Golden
I know you're
State,
talking about Golden State, yeah.
right? So don't get me wrong, Lakers prove that they can beat all these guys,
Right.
but I want to see how they're gonna do when they have like when they have to deal with when you have to guard Curry and you gotta guard Clay, more
Yeah.
threats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and they just got Andrew Wiggins too.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So like I do think the
Yeah.
Warriors and they have like the number two pick, number two pick in the draft.
Oh.
So they're like
Oh.
they set themselves up pretty nicely. So like
Yeah, yeah.
again, I just want to see how they're gonna do against the Warriors. You know what I mean? I want to see how they do. Hopefully, it's a full season. There's just no breaks,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And I feel like there's these strong teams in the West that we don't have an answer as to why they can't go over that hump, which is like climbing over the Lakers, like a team like LeBron and AD, right?
Experience.
Well, we're talking like Trailblazers,
Yeah.
right? You're saying experience?
Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. I was talking
No,
about like
you know what
Denver
I
and
mean?
them.
Like that. Okay, yeah. That's what goes through my mind. It's like, okay, Trailblazers look amazing.
Yeah,
Why can't they go over them?
yeah,
Right? It's like Nuggets got excellent. They can't get that next.
yeah,
Right? Like those teams, they're so solid when
yeah,
they're together. But what happens when they play the Lakers? That's like
yeah.
what I'm looking for, right?
Can I be honest with you? I really do believe that has to do with the fans.
Really?
Oh yeah. The reason why
Really
is
think
because
so?
because the reason why is because like the Blazers, anytime they'd be playing and like anytime they've had those upsets, you get that you
Yeah.
get the crowd behind you. You get that momentum, right? The crowd momentum. You get the feeling, the confidence, and everything. Here,
Okay.
it's really hard to get that confidence and to go past it. I mean, LeBron doesn't need that. You know what I mean? Like even though LeBron was
Mm,
complaining about it, this man has been here for 17 years.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's you can block the noise out. You can keep the
He
noise
could
in.
get around it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just think it might have been like maybe just like because it was so new to them and like
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest here, Blazers like they're all about the upset. They want to feel the crowd, like how the crowd like that change in momentum and
Right.
everything. You know what I mean? But if you're in an empty gym, it's just like a pickup game. So like that seriousness doesn't kick in, kind of. Even though it is very competitive, sometimes you don't get that like extra fire.
Right. Right.
But I do think that the NBA, like the bubble, had some amazing basketball play. I just think
Of course.
without the crowd, there is that missing piece that a lot of people actually thrive on. Like
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
like Seattle Seahawks. I'm so surprised they're doing so well because they have like no fans.
Yeah,
You know what I
and that's
mean?
like their thing, right?
That's like the thing. And so
Right.
with Denver, even again, same thing. I just think that LeBron is he's so experienced and like AD
Well, that
is
that
such a
that's
good
what goes
player.
back. Yeah, that's what goes back to my point. Is like we, I think, underestimate that caliber of player. Like
Yeah.
like the size, the experience, the athleticism that LeBron has, like
Mhm.
that we can't argue against. Like a player can't stand in front of you like that and keep winning if he doesn't have all those characteristics,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, shoot, like
My
I want to go through a different route, but there was like even that whole thought of like when we see great players, like when Steph Curry, for example, right? Like when he has this whole thing like balling, you can't stop his shot, is going
yeah.
in no matter what. But even him, if you look at the positives and the negatives of his game next to LeBron,
Yeah.
there's certain things that Steph Curry can't do,
Yeah.
right? That he will never be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron has that like overall package type thing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those are the things I think stand out. That's what goes through my mind when I think of like, well, why can't the Trailblazers or somebody like the Nuggets or
Yeah.
these guys? What happens? Well, because you have that sort of caliber player against you, right?
It,
Like,
it's like a kryptonite type thing. His presence is so strong that like people,
right,
it's like you forget what you're doing.
right.
It's like the famous Mike Tyson quote. Um, you can have a plan until you get punched in the face. And
Yeah,
that first LeBron highlight, whether it be
right.
that tomahawk dunk, that no look pass, the half court or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, that
Yeah.
is that punch in the face. That'll be like, yo, LeBron's here to play. So you're like, oh fuck.
You're like, damn, I got, yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta step it up. And like,
Yeah.
man, like I'll be honest with you, like I do believe, I really strongly believe that a majority of LeBron's, mind you, LeBron deserved that MVP title.
Yeah.
AD had great games, but LeBron was the only one that was consistently like doing something for the team, right? And I think that also has to do with the fact that people were pushing AD to be that Finals MVP, but
It
because
made him a little bit.
a little nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate to say it like this, but I noticed that like, you know all these tendencies that people were shitting on LeBron for.
Okay. Right.
You can see these tendencies in his teammates. No, it's weird. It's weird. It's like this pressure thing. Like LeBron, like it's like AD was like LeBron a couple years ago. Where like that pressure was kind of like I couldn't get over that pressure thing. Like fourth quarter was never showing up.
Right.
Right. So I feel like it's weird because like that's a LeBron tendency. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird that AD got it and LeBron's fixing it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of cool to think too, right? Like LeBron's been through so many different, has played with so many different teams, so many situations that were probably so stressful, right? Like big time games. But now when you think of AD, right? Like he was playing in New Orleans.
Yep.
So this is pretty big for him. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean that's what he wanted. But for LeBron, he's been dealt with this since he was like a kid, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes a long way also.
Well, that was embarrassing.
What happened in light?
No, I missed it completely and like hit the side.
Light it up.
Yo, did you see that the Lakers forgot Quinn Cook?
Oh yeah, they were dying on the bus. I like how he's not calling them; he's messaging through the live stream
because he knows that's the only way to get their attention.
Come back, make a U-turn.
Make a U-turn, come back. Deion Waiters, sorry QC.
Yo, you gonna have to catch your own flight. I'm dead. That's crazy, man.
I saw a video. It broke my heart to see, but I think it's a good thing to see because it's gonna give you that drive, that fuel.
What's that?
Bam Adebayo went for his nightly walk around the campus. As he was walking, the Lakers party was just happening at the thing, and he's just walking by. He's just walking and staring at it. He's just walking.
Really?
That's gonna be some serious
man
motivation, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so
that's crazy.
How did you feel about whatchamacallit? What was it? Damn it, I just lost it. Wow, this weed's actually really good.
This guy. What was it, bro? What was it? You know what time it is?
It's game time. Oh, how did you feel about the Lakers wearing the Mamba jersey Game 5 in hopes of winning the championship and then losing?
That sucks. That would have just been that extra spice. Oh man,
you stupid cornballs.
That would have been dope, though, man. They should have kept wearing it. They should have kept wearing it.
Do you want to hear my theory? So right after they won, I made this comment, and like my boy Baz, like on my group chat, he was going, I was like, "Yo, Lakers won, we won." Right. And then I go, it's funny how they didn't win in the Mamba jerseys. Even Kobe knew that this championship was invalid.
Damn, that's how you feel.
He
Don't
goes,
say that.
he goes, Dad, shut up.
He got mad.
No, but
Stop
think of it like
playing
this.
with his emotions.
But think of it like this. I believe that, like, okay, I do believe that Kobe didn't want them to win it in his jersey because of the fact that people keep saying it's invalid. You don't want that with your name, right? But Kobe was with Jimmy Butler. The performance that he put on, that's a Kobe performance.
Wow, that's what you're saying.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
And I mean, it was. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, do you know what they won yesterday, right?
Right.
And you know what yesterday was?
What was
It was Father-Daughter Day.
No.
So they won on Father-Daughter
You're
Day.
lying. Man, I didn't
Yes.
even know that.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, see, like, even though, yes, I said that Kobe didn't want to win because it's valid, but what if he wanted to win because it's Father-Daughter Day? You got this whole team is about Gianna
Man.
and Kobe, not just Kobe.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like,
That's a cool tie. I didn't even know
do you know
that.
what I mean? This is what happens when you do this.
You're like, Father-Daughter Day. Damn.
That sounds interesting.
You're like, there's something behind this. Oh my god.
Okay, so, with this whole LeBron actually wait, before I say that, Jimmy Butler, just one more thing for him. I think he's found that new gear that he's been like kind of searching for, right? Especially when he found his team with Miami, right?
Found some new country music to listen to.
You say new country music?
Yeah. Every time they show him bumping music, he's listening to country music. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Where's he from again?
Bro, I forgot. Where is he
country?
from?
I think he's a country boy.
He has to be, because that's why he listens to it.
True.
Something funny about it.
But
yeah. So
I think Jimmy Butler is an amazing, amazing, amazing leader. Like, I like, bro. This guy,
a lot of people would say he's not, though. A lot of
Why?
people said that there's a problem. I mean, look, he had a problem with the Bulls.
They were the problem.
And so they say they're the problem, right? But how come things weren't so dramatic after he left? Then he goes to Philly, right? So they're like, all right, this is like a chance. There's a lot of good guys around him. There's no way.
Yeah.
Stirred up problems with like two great players that we had there, right? Simmons and what's it called? Big dude Embiid. Okay, he's having problems with why? Okay, now you would say that maybe he's feeling himself in Miami because he can feel like he's that guy. Maybe that's why.
Because he has the. Do you know what I think it is? I just think that he's not surrounded by ego. Because Jimmy Butler's not the best player on that team. Bam Adebayo is. You know what I mean? That's their first option. Even though they don't show it, you know what I mean? But they have more faith in Bam. They want to push Bam up. Jimmy's that veteran that can push him, but he's not that veteran that's like a. He's not like a Rondo. You know what I mean? Okay. No disrespect to Rondo, but like there's levels, right?
Right.
Jimmy is like your second option most likely.
Right.
Maybe even hero.
That's what I'm saying though. There must be conversations that he's agreeing with when he talks to the front office in Miami compared to Philly or Chicago, because they must have been saying like, look, like you're great, but we have a strategy. We have something that, like, the reason why we brought you is based on is a plan that we came up with before you came here. So like you need to follow our lead. Mm-hmm. And he might not like that, right? Yeah. That's what might be happening. Him going to Miami, I think he had a better talk with them. He had a better idea with them. Like, and look, since it was the second time around, they probably had that conversation already. Like, look, you could have done great things in Philly. They were lined up. How many times they said they have a chance to win it all? They had so many talks when that was happening.
Yeah.
Why didn't it happen? Right. So that real conversation that came down the line in Miami must have been the reason for them to be where they are right now.
100%. And I think he fits in with that culture. You know what I mean? That like grind culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, bro, like these guys, like I hate to say it like this, but they're like a bunch of nobodies.
That's what it is. That's why everybody was shocked.
They're a bunch of second, third, like lineup guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, and I think because there is no ego and they all are hungry to win. And like
Yeah.
they don't have egos where like if Jimmy's challenging them, it's not like, oh, you're against me. It's like, no,
Right.
you're trying to make me better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and that's the thing, like that's what MJ did. That's what Kobe did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is what
Right.
Jimmy
Right.
does. Like
Mm-hmm.
yes, it comes off as being an asshole, but like I hate to say it like this, but like you have to understand that this is what drives people sometimes. Even it might
Right.
not drive you, right? But you just can't let it get under your skin like that.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Yeah.
Is yeah. Like
So.
he just wants to win. You know what I mean?
Right.
He
And that's
just
what
wants to
that's
win.
what they all want to do, right? That's like
Exactly.
you said. It's just that different feeling. Obviously I don't like to compare sports, like different types of sports to each other, but it reminds me because I follow the Eagles heavy. Obviously that's my team for football.
Right.
And them beating the Patriots were those things that we're talking about. It's like a lot of people that you would see on the team were really considered nobodies, right? Their star quarterback went down. So a nobody, which was a second string that's been around the league, he didn't really do much, was taken over, but yet he shined.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like not because of anything other than the fact that that camaraderie was there. Like that whole brotherly love in
Right.
Philly, like
Right.
they had that. They bump Meek Mill's song every single
Yeah.
time coming out
There's trust.
they had that trust. They all liked the same thing. They did the same stuff. They were like brothers, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what everybody would say is like, if you look number wise, they shouldn't have won, but they won throughout the playoffs and they beat New England, which if anybody watches football, you know, the Patriots always win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you beat the Patriots? Well, that whole brotherly love and that hard fight
Unity.
that they wanted to put up. Right. That's the only answer that you have if you really look at the game and you look at the
Yeah.
players. So I could see that similarity here when you look at Miami.
You said football, and I just thought of this. Dak. Do you see what happened to Dak's? Ankle?
Yeah, that's so bad, man.
I didn't see
That was
it,
nasty.
I heard it was a dislocation.
You could see it. You should go look. You should go look at it. Bro, the way they had that angle on his ankle, oh my god.
And like,
that's why everybody grabbed their head after seeing that because they're like, bro.
I heard that he. Oh, sorry, sorry. I heard that he's out for 4 to 6 months. So you already. Oh my god. Bro, I can literally like. I'm not even watching the video.
You just see a picture?
Thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
He's facing this way, and his ankle's facing this way.
Oh my god, bro! Just completely like. Yeah.
Bro, oh, I feel so bad for him. Oh.
He was crying, man, and it's not even probably because of the pain. It's just because he knows he's done for the season.
The season, he's probably done for like. You're never like. I don't think someone's gonna be the same, especially with such a physical sport like football.
It's so tough, yeah. You're always backing up on your ankle as a QB and stuff.
And he's not gonna be able to do that, like that little hip thing.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna do it, his ankle's gonna go and he's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing when you get injured. Cause like in football, there's no mercy, man. Cause like you need to perform, right? So like if you get injured, that could be done for you, you know, like.
And like they used to take like freezing shots, pretty much. Cortisone.
There's a lot of players that don't play anymore because of injuries. And when you saw them when they were playing, like initially in the season, they were supposed to be like MVPs and stuff. They'll never be the same. They're just those names that were just there. So that's why people cry like that, because he's probably thinking like this could be really bad.
This
could
be it for me. He was trying to get paid too, right?
He was trying to get paid. Right, so now everybody was saying you better pay him, like, because he deserves it. Like, he was going hard. Don't let this injury stop you from paying him. But
but they're not gonna pay him, bro.
It's sad, bro. It's a business at the end of the day, right? Like, it could happen. So
come to the CFL, bro.
Ain't nobody want to play for 30,000.
Pardon?
So nobody wants to play for 30,000.
That's like his game check.
That's what everybody be saying, right? Like you could play for the CFL, you'd be making like 80,000 or something like that.
You'd be making like what used to be your pocket cash.
Yeah, seriously. But
I was gonna mention this because like we're talking about basketball. We went to football. I was gonna bring it back
oh
to
yeah, yeah.
basketball. Um, if like, what do you think about LeBron's journey from like when he got drafted to like now? Like,
Bro, it's just the ultimate story, right?
yeah,
Like, what do they say? I like when they always say, like, he was just a kid from Akron, Ohio,
yeah,
right? Like, that's just like, that's awesome. Like, it's just like a movie.
yeah,
But the thing is, like I said, I always say that in sports, you always get that advantage if you are the typical body, athletic, having that perfect athleticism and everything about you. Not
mm-hmm.
taking anything away because he's obviously practiced his ass off, but
Yeah,
we're talking like he as a player is like that perfect embodiment of who a basketball player is, right?
yeah,
So it's like right, the stars aligned for us to have a LeBron in our
yeah,
lives to watch,
yeah,
right? Like that's just what it is. So
yeah,
he took full steam ahead and he never flopped and he just took it, took it full steam ahead. Like well deserved, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, 100%. Like, I personally think that like I feel like when people say the goat, I feel like a lot of people have a different meaning of who the goat is.
Yeah.
Everyone has their different criteria, right?
All right.
Um, like so, how do I say this? Like I think LeBron's career is probably the most accomplished. You know what I mean? Like when Adam Silver last night said that I don't know if he said that the Finals MVP is going to be named after him or like an award is going to be named after him, but I thought he said the Finals MVP, and I'm like, you cannot just take Bill Russell's name off like that and put LeBron's like,
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? And that's and I think that's one thing that pisses me off so much about LeBron is that like some of his fans are so obnoxiously like loyal to
Oh,
him.
that's what you hate about it, right?
That's what I
That's
hate.
why
Like,
you can't be that's why you're not like a huge LeBron fan because you feel like you'll fall into that boat of like being that sort of person.
exactly, and like certain plays are so overhyped sometimes, and it's like, but no, like the great play. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
okay, tell me this: why do you think LeBron never joined a dunk contest? He didn't want to lose.
You didn't want to lose.
You know what I mean?
That's not what he's about.
Jordan won a dunk contest. Kobe won a dunk
Right.
contest. You know why? It's because, like, in that way, they're more athletic than LeBron is. LeBron's just
Right, right.
bigger, right? Like, all
That's
he
what I was
does,
gonna say, right?
all he
His
does
bot,
it's just the tomahawk, right? Or like the
man.
big. It's the power. It's like Dominique minus the agility, like the
Right.
like the what's I'm looking for, like the sauce to it.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know how Dominic had like he do some crazy stuff,
Do
and it's
crazy
just so
stuff,
much
right?
power.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is just the power.
Power.
And he's so big and he jumps so high. Like LeBron's
Right.
vertical is ridiculous.
You know what you could call it? It's kind of like Floyd Mayweather, right? You're not gonna expect so much craziness out of him, but he's just mentally, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
he's gonna win. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's looking for, and he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Same thing with LeBron. He knows what he's doing, and that's what he's looking for to be that champion. It doesn't matter about all those other things that you can mention. Even
Like,
with that, I wanted to mention too, because last podcast we talked about that, which was about the NBA having like a little bit of a bias towards players and letting things slide.
Yeah.
You could see a big difference when you watch a game live compared to like cameras on the field, on the court, like different angles, like sort of like where you can see the sense of like players almost backing away or like there's nothing they can do when he's running, driving in for a layup or something, right?
Yeah.
Happens so much, but it's like that's what we go back to, right? We go back to that whole conversation, which is what can you do if LeBron is that dog, right? Like that's who he is. So what else can you say, right?
And like so like when you say like when he's like driving to the hoop and like what can you do? That is true. What can you do? And like when people make the argument of like, oh, he has a better field goal percentage than anybody. Like it's true, he has such a good field goal percentage, but look at his shots. Within a certain amount, like this, like I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying like this is something a LeBron fan would like overhype,
right?
But not look at it in a like real way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just really think like LeBron, like I really do think LeBron is like bro, this guy is so talented. You know what I mean? I do
Of
enjoy
course.
watching him play. You know what I mean? As much as I say like fuck LeBron, I do enjoy watching him play. And like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
sometimes really feel like did I take his career for granted? And I sometimes I'm like maybe I did. You know what I mean? Maybe I didn't really like appreciate his greatness. And then I look again, I'm like no, like I do think that um I do think that like he has had an amazing career. I don't think he's the GOAT. He is Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean? For
Okay.
sure. I think he's Mount Rushmore. He's not my GOAT, but I like
And you know why? I don't know if I'd be answering your question because
mm,
obviously you're a Kobe fan.
yeah.
So if you would ask me what do you think of Kobe's legacy when you look at that? Well, the things that you see when you look at LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
like I mentioned to you, right, that he's that stud, the young dude, da da da, he could do it all from
Yeah.
day one. He went in. When you hear Kobe's story, right, like when he's talking about wanting to expand, like his the lengths of his fingers, right?
Yeah.
Like wanting to become better in every single shape and form because he
Yeah.
knew he wasn't the tallest, he wasn't the biggest,
Yeah.
but he was gonna figure out a way to be the best ball player because he loved it so much.
Exactly.
That's a whole different story because LeBron didn't have
Yes.
to think that way.
Yes.
You know, like plain and simple, bro. Like, and I think I see that more because of football, because football is such a dominant sport when it comes to being this dog, like you, this big
The
dude,
athleticism, the
the
natural
athleticism,
athleticism.
like the Randy Moss, like being
Yes.
tall and big.
And
No corner's that
vast.
big in the NFL, so you're automatically catching the ball over every player,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're a dog like that. So
Didn't he run like a 4.4
I can't remember off the
in his
top of
40
my
like
head.
something stupid fast.
Something crazy, right? But that that whole embodiment of like what does it mean to be an athlete and
Yeah.
what you can do with who you are as a person.
Yeah.
There's those separations from like talking about Kobe. Maybe he's more relatable to us because we would think the same way. If we had a chance to go in, I can't really look at LeBron and see what he did because I'll never be able to be like him. But
Yeah.
if I look at Kobe, I'll be like, well, yeah, because he's proven to me that I don't have to be this type of person to
I
be
just
this
have to
ball.
work, work,
I
work.
just have to work. Right, right.
Bro, you literally took the words out of my mouth. Like that's literally why I believe Kobe's the GOAT is because Kobe has like I'm not saying LeBron didn't work his ass off, but if you, like you said, Kobe wasn't the big mind you, Kobe's 6'6". You know what I mean? 6'6", 210 maybe.
Okay,
Like slim
right.
guy, like so
Mm-hmm.
solid. LeBron is 6'8", 230, I believe.
Okay.
And I think he was a little bit higher than that. But
Mm-hmm.
but LeBron's such a LeBron is a physical specimen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But then like, what can you really work on? Like obviously you could put your reps in, but what can you really work on? Because you can always rely on your athleticism, and that's what he's. You can see he still can rely on his athleticism now
Right.
at this
Even in
age
this age, yeah.
because he's put his body because he's so naturally gifted. But then look at Kobe because he worked his body so hard to get to that point.
Wore
His
him
body
out.
broke,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So like that's just like, and that's when I also think that like, and that's why I think it's like unfair when people say like LeBron's the GOAT because I sometimes think I'm like technically like Kobe was the 13th pick. You know what I mean? LeBron was the number one pick. Kobe's first 3 years of Lakers, he got like no playing time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
LeBron was handed all the minutes.
Right.
Mind you, Kobe was part of the Lakers, but
Right.
there was hype behind his name where it's kind of like give him a chance, but he was never given that chance.
They were never giving him. Yeah.
But then you see that growth where it's just like you like I can see where like you were, and you see the growth from that
Yeah. Yeah.
to being arguably like the GOAT. Because the reason why I say him over Jordan is only because, again, yes, Jordan worked his ass off. You know what I mean? He did work his ass off.
Yeah.
But then he can also rely on his athleticism. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Jordan's beginning years, he didn't have a 3-point shot. But he
Right.
relied on his athleticism to drive to the rim and just fucking over everybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then once the competition started getting better, and it got way more physical and more physical, his shot got better. That's,
Shot just got
you
better,
know what I mean?
right?
But I mean, technically, Jordan is the GOAT, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Jordan is the GOAT, but like best player, I just think it's Kobe. Just because of the fact that you had that underdog feeling.
Right. And
Those
I don't
guys.
know.
Go ahead, go
Right.
ahead.
Well, I don't know if this is something that plays into your decision too, but people say that LeBron always bounced between teams trying to win a championship. Where like someone like Kobe is always on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Is that play a part with saying that Kobe is a legend? Like he had to face through all the adversities of the Laker team changing, and he still stood strong, right?
And he still played
And he
phenomenally,
still played amazing, right?
and he arguably got robbed of some MVPs, right?
So that could be said the same thing where I know people have said that too. Well, he played with the Cavs even when they weren't that good, right? LeBron.
Mhm.
He did well, right? His numbers
Yeah,
were still up.
yeah,
So it's not really like we can't really put that on anybody, whether they
yeah,
change teams or not, because LeBron was still proven to be that dude. Like he
yeah,
would still be putting up numbers. It's
yeah,
just he wouldn't get that championship. So we could just say that, well, we can't, that's LeBron's decision, and it ended up being a good decision, I guess, because then it does make his name that much stronger on his resume in the
yeah.
in the history books and whatnot. So
But I also want to say that like Cope, I think the reason why is because like LeBron went and joined Bosh and Wade, who were also they were all three of them were in the top 5 draft lottery, right?
okay, yeah,
3, I think.
oh, okay,
They were in the top 5,
okay,
and
yeah,
now you guys team together to form this like
right,
super team, and then you guys get like more pieces around you. Ray Allen, who's an
yeah,
NBA champion. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you get these key people, like a really good team,
uh-huh,
and then you just wipe everyone out. So in a sense, that whole like kind of fight for it. Like you want to play the best people instead of like being with the best people.
mm,
But I mean, like Jordan, because the people talk about Jordan in the beginning of his career, he couldn't make it until Pippen got there. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And Pippen's like an all-time great, right?
Pippen, of course,
But like, and Rodman's an all-time great.
yeah.
Do you think Pau Gasol is an all-time great? No disrespect to Pau Gasol, he's an all-time great. But like, do you put him in like do you like is his name going to be brought up with all these other guys, with the Jordans and
He
all of them? You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
it's not. It won't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're
exactly,
talking about them, it won't be brought up like that.
yeah,
But I see what you're saying when you're talking that sort of thing, right? Like when you talk about Kobe, okay, you might bring up Shaq, right? That's what you'll
Oh,
bring up.
I have some stats for you. Can I tell you some stats?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So do you know how they say Shaq carried Kobe to the NBA, like that repeat, right?
Okay, all right.
Don't get me wrong. Shaq was 27 during the first championship, and he was 29 by the end. So
Okay,
he was in his physical prime, right?
sure.
He's the Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This man is the most dominant basketball player of all time.
And what does it go back to? Just him being who he is, right?
So,
Shoot, if I try to stand in front of him, I'm getting knocked down. That's game
exactly.
over.
So you have to understand that like no one can stop him, right? You can hack a
Right.
Shaq, but he's going to do something still.
Yeah.
The first one, so 99 2000, Shaq averaged 30 points and 15 rebounds. And,
Crazy.
right? But if you look at his matchup, I don't remember who his matchup was.
I don't remember
I really
either.
don't remember. But like it's like the team they faced, their guards were their best players on the team. And who's matched up with their guards? Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe had the harder defensive. Kobe had
Okay.
both.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He both the harder defensive role and the
Mhm.
harder offensive role.
And he talked about that in interviews before too. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And Kobe was 21 years old during this first season, and he averaged 21 points and 5 rebounds, and he's 6 times he scored over 30. And he's 21. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Shaq scored Shaq scored over 30 18 times.
Yeah.
and like, do you know what I mean? Like it was normal. He would just give him the
Normal,
ball
yeah.
and just, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the thing is, Shaq, they like in a sense. I'm not saying that if Shaq left, Kobe would have won. No, that's not the case. They
No.
needed each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean. Like, the next year, Shaq again 30 points, 15 rebounds. But Kobe turned it up because of the first year, because he won the championship and he did so well.
Yeah.
Kobe averaged 29 points,
There you
7
go.
rebounds, and 6 assists.
Wow.
Bro, you went from 21 points, 5 rebounds, and I think he had like 4 assists, to 29 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
Kept moving up.
You know what I mean? That Shaq, don't get me wrong, Shaq was still the most dominant. I think that was it that year or the year? No, the year before. So that first championship is when he won the MVP, I think.
Okay.
Or the year after. Shaq stayed the same. You know what I mean? He's still the same dominant guy. But this kid Kobe, who's 22 years old now, finally getting his chance to shine, is showing out. Like he put up MVP numbers, right?
Yeah.
But they gave it to Shaq because it's like at that time, like
at that time.
You know what I mean? At the time, the rookie role was like you have to earn your way up. You got to like wait your turn type thing.
Right.
That was the thing back then. Now it's like you give him to him young.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? It's true. So like because before it was a man's game. Now you have it's such a young man's game now.
Right.
That's so much faster.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, well, you can't keep up with the pace. I'm like, but if you look at the ages, like the ages were completely different.
Well, you know the other thing I would say, because I talked to this other guy I know, he's into basketball a lot also, and we talked about MVP stuff for like the last 4 or 5 years, right? If you look at them, how many years were there like 3 players where it's like so unfair to exclude one of them, right? Like when it was always like Harden or Westbrook, you know, or you're throwing LeBron with, then there's like Gian and then all these guys, and it's like, yeah, there's so much good in all of them. How are you supposed to choose?
Yeah.
There's so much bias when it comes to that player and the story, and there's so much other things that they add onto it, you know, where it's like it just becomes very unfair. Even with the whole thing for the regular season, right? How good does the player play in the regular season, and then when the playoffs start, this guy did help his team get so many wins so that they are in the playoffs. But you guys say that it doesn't matter about that because we're just talking regular season. Mm-hmm. So it's like, the way how they judge it, I didn't go into specifics, but I know that there's these sort of like leeways that they go towards to give somebody that MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you mean. It's kind of like what sells type of thing. Is that what
kind of. I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Like, which is like a popularity type thing.
Yeah. Oh. I know they didn't. You know, like, I hear you. Okay, you just unplugged, didn't you?
Yeah, I did unplug. Can you hear me?
I hear you though. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Like, because if you go back to MVPs, like if we did that, maybe we could do that one episode, like just go through and then we see what goes on. But just in general, like I think everybody remembers in the back of their head how it's like, well, Harden should have got it, and then it's like, well, Westbrook should have got it, and then really nobody's really saying anything wrong because they're both playing incredibly well.
Yeah.
So, but one guy has to be chosen. So there's always those little variables that they add into it, which shouldn't matter. But at the end of the day, that's basketball, right? Like, if there is only supposed to be one MVP, then you can't even. Well, how about now even with Giannis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you felt about that, but it's like everybody had their thing to say where they're like, no, screw that, this is stupid.
But he deserved it. He was the regular season MVP. Like, why are you getting so mad? You're literally in playoffs now. You're now playing.
Right.
You literally have improved from the regular season to the playoffs. If there was a most improved player during the playoffs, you'd win it. How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing that gets me is like people don't get it, right? Because then once playoffs start, how did he even get MVP? He didn't even win it. Well, that's not what we're talking about. It's different. Right.
These are the people who don't know basketball that just like to talk shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like sometimes people think I sound like that when I talk about basketball. Like, just because I hate on him so much. But like, that's why honestly, that's why I keep giving him his props, because he does deserve it. Because the man did put the work in. He is where he is because he did the work, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like it's just some people just they don't want to hear it. if you say no, LeBron's not, you're a hater.
Right, right.
That's what Stephen A. Smith said about Kendrick Perkins.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, just because LeBron's number 2 on my list, not my list, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
He's like, just because LeBron's number 2, that means I'm a hater? No, it doesn't. Like, even though
No.
he has 6 finals losses,
Yeah.
LeBron has the same final losses than Michael does wins.
See.
And Michael has no losses.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But back to these Kobe stats. In 01-02, that's when like they started fighting a lot. Right? Shaq and Kobe,
yeah.
that's when when they pretty much broke up and everything.
Yeah.
Shaq scored 28 points, 12 rebounds. And Kobe scored 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. So Kobe did go down a little bit, but he pretty much stayed consistent. Shaq went down also, but not a lot. But he also did go down. But you can make the like. I feel like because Shaq won those 3 Finals MVPs, that's why Kobe's not considered one of like the GOATs, because he didn't win it. But think of it, how do you win over Shaq? You can't. Right?
This doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? You can't win over Shaq. I'll be honest with you. I mean, Dwayne Wade did, but because that was a new NBA. If you think about it. Not new NBA, but like, it was like a.
It was revolutionary. It was changing.
Right? It was literally kind of like that's when like everything flipped.
Yeah.
D Wade won. D Wade's like the new guy.
Oh, right.
So I think that was kind of like the flip. That's when like the new guys started popping up a lot more.
Right.
But yeah, man. So like, that's what I was saying. Like, Kobe just kind of had to wait his turn, right? And I also do believe the reason why his turn never came, and I feel like it did, but like he was kind of robbed and stuff. Remember his whole rape allegation?
Oh yeah.
And I think that absolutely ruined his career in a sense where that's never gonna leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you How do you call him a GOAT when he has a rape allegation against him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's super hard to do. Yeah.
So people look at that aspect and they'll write him off, but I'm like, that's not fair.
It's not. Yeah.
But like, if you think about it, even though he's like kind of like no one puts him in the GOAT conversation, right? His like Mamba mentality got him through his whole career, and that's what made him a legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in a sense, like he has 5 championships. This guy's 5 champions. Like,
5 champions.
Some guy was saying that LeBron needs 1 more championship and he gets a statue in LA. I almost jumped through that screen and slapped him so hard. Oh.
Yeah. It's going to happen, bro. They're going to win next year and they're going to have to put a statue.
Bro, if they do, I think I might slap somebody. I don't know who it's going to be. It's somebody. Because...
At least put it in Ohio. Don't put it out in LA.
Yeah, how disrespectful is that, man?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you named it Kobe. Like, does Kobe even have a statue there? I don't think so.
I don't know. No, he had like billboards and stuff, but I don't know if they do that anymore.
The street's named after him.
Okay, yeah.
He deserves a statue. He brought you 5. Listen to this. He brought you 5 NBA titles, okay? Shaq brought you 3. LeBron brought you 1. Magic and Kareem brought you 5. But they did it together.
Yeah.
Right? Kobe brought 5 by himself. Not by himself, but like he brought 5. He was responsible for 5 of them.
He stuck around and he did it with his team, right?
That's what I'm saying. I love you, Kobe Bryant. Don't forget that, man. But it's crazy. But cause like if you think about like Mamba mentality, like it seems so crazy to like be in that, because like if you look at Kobe, his work ethic, it's like abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you think about it, that's his like happy place. That's his normal. Like he's like at his peace.
Right.
That's absolutely wild, man. And like I really do believe that Kobe's route to like through his career was harder than both MJ and LeBron's.
Mm,
Is that a fair thing to say? Like
yeah,
it was a
that's what I
harder
would say.
it was a
Right.
harder come up, and he still
Like
did what he did.
if you get put into their shoes, right? You're put into LeBron's shoes, running, Cavs, Miami, you go to LA,
Yeah,
you face the Warriors, da da da, boom. Okay. Then you put yourself in MJ shoes. You're there, right? You're in
yeah,
Chicago. You're balling. You're doing your
yeah.
thing. You got good players around you. You keep winning. You keep winning. You got a great story. Boom. Then
Hmm.
you look at Kobe. Well, you're facing adversity the whole time. You're like, all right, but I'm still gonna, okay, but I'm still gonna win. Oh, but I
Okay,
gotta face it. But I'm still gonna win, right? You keep fighting
but
all these,
this,
right, right, and you still end up making. Then it's like your last game. You scored how many points? 60
60
something.
points.
60 points. Boom, right? Like that's a great story, right? That's more so like a mountain climber. That's how his
Yeah,
story would look like.
and
So I
like
mean,
that's why he's my goat
yeah, yeah,
because I respect everything he's gone through and what he's done. I respect how he's done it and how he's carried himself. You know what I mean?
yeah,
After basketball, a lot of people don't know what the hell they're gonna do. This man was a brand new person.
yeah. He figured out what to do.
He
He
was
had a
done
bunch
with
of ideas.
yeah, he was done with basketball. He was at peace, which I
Right.
found was so beautiful
Yeah.
because he never had the feeling of yeah, I'll come back and play. Even though like his body was done,
Yeah.
he didn't do like that MJ come back when
Right.
I'm like older and like you know what I mean. But like I think because he put that passion and that Mamba mentality to other things, that just showed that like not only is he a great basketball mind, but he's just a great mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
To
sure.
anything you can apply his Mamba mentality to
To
anything.
anything. Yep. Yep.
So that's why I say he's the GOAT.
Shout out LeBron though. These guys won.
Shout out LeBron, bro. Like honestly, I really hope you guys go to the championship next year and face the Raptors and lose. But
Wow.
listen, I'm
This
forever
guy.
a Raptors fan, bro. Who did Kobe score his career high on? The Raptors.
Oh, it was on the Raptors? Oh, okay.
It was on Jalen Rose.
Damn.
Besides basketball, I was telling you that I wanted to talk about like, okay, are you still into like psychology and stuff?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Of course.
did you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast at all about with the the guy who studies narcissism and stuff and psychology of narcissism?
It was just recent, right?
Yeah,
I listened to that little thing, right, about narcissism.
yeah, it was good, right?
It was good, yeah.
So
I
like,
didn't watch the whole thing. I know what you're talking about. The
mhm,
clip, it was like 10 minutes. It was about
yeah,
narcissism. He was explaining to him.
right? And like he was talking about like how like there's like different types,
Yeah, things that we don't even know about, right? We don't even look
right?
at it that way.
Do you know the documentary? Oh, do you know
Yeah.
do you know the documentary Social Dilemma?
Yeah, but I didn't watch it though. But I
You didn't
saw the
watch it,
trailer though. I know what it's about. Yeah,
bro? It's absolutely crazy.
you tying that to that?
I'm definitely tying that to that because I feel like social media is creating a new generation of vulnerable narcissists. You know how they say mental illness is is like an all-time
All
high.
time high. Yeah.
Obviously, it's linked to social media, but like I think a lot of it like it's called vulnerable narcissism.
Mm.
So what that means is that like you think you're the shit,
Yep.
right? You
And
think
you're
you're the
not.
shit, but you're not. But you do all this stuff to pose, right? What is it called? The Bow Wow the Bow Wow challenge.
Bow Wow challenge.
But like, you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
those girls that just got caught. Like they'll pretend that they're on a private airplane. But
Yeah,
it's a set.
that is crazy, right? I seen that.
That's mental illness, bro.
That is mental illness, right?
Because you're trying to front something, but that's not. But like the
Trying
thing
to front.
is that like they were saying that like do you like so like it was saying like because of the fact that like you're constantly posting what is it posting different stuff about your life, you're trying to say like oh I'm on vacation, oh I'm doing this, like you're trying to like oh look at my Gucci bag, my this, my that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
when people see that, like, and you're doing nothing, like getting like these social media stars, you don't like these high school kids are getting famous for making videos, making them think that anybody can do it, which you can, but like there's a lot of work that goes into it.
A lot of work, right.
Did you hear about TikTok's algorithm, like what they try to do?
Oh yeah. The first video, right? You'll get fame. You have a higher chance of getting famous.
Exactly, and then you keep doing it, and all of a sudden
you keep wanting to do it.
You keep doing it. Like,
well, bro, because you have to think about it, right? All these people, they have so much money invested in people sitting down to be like, what do we need to do so that people can be on our platform?
Yes.
Because the more attention they get, the more money they're gonna get, right? So, what do we do? So obviously, there's some big psychologists that know exactly like what works, right? Like how the brain works. So the way how Instagram is set up, the way how TikTok is set up, it's not just set up because somebody was just randomly thought, well, that would be cool if it. No, it's like literally like sitting down and saying, okay, the brain works like this. So the only way it would work is if you set it up like this, because then, right? And it all has all these technical terms that make it all work, right? Like it's a whole big puzzle. They're not just sitting down for an hour and they figured it out. They're probably sitting down for weeks, putting every single part of it together.
Yeah, like they have this thing. They do 3 types of things. It's like I can't remember the names for it, but like these 3 things, they try to like they find out what you like, right? It times how long you look at something, right? Where you are, if there's people around you, right? Then they'll be like, oh, we'll show you this.
You know how they know what you know? The Explore page. You know how they know what you like? Because you go on your Explore page and I'm like, oh damn, how do they know I like music and freaking new cars that come out? They show me all these Explore because
it's the stuff that you like and everything too.
Yep.
Like
even the ads. Yeah. And I have a personal thing about ads because I did an e-commerce business. I was trying to sell stuff with e-commerce. So I studied a lot about social media marketing.
Right.
On how the algorithms work, because you're trying to advertise your product to somebody, right? Like if you're trying to sell, let's say that you're trying to sell a basketball. Yeah. Well, when you're putting the advertisement out, you're paying for them to have it shown to such and such people. Well, they can't show to everybody because it would be too much money. So you choose, right? I'm going to say from the age of 20 to 24, right? Somebody that likes basketball, right? Yeah. Okay, probably most likely more males than female.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me put it with what do they like? Too. Bro, and they go into specifics. I can have those advertisements sent specifically to you. Yeah. I'll say the location, London, Ontario, males between 20 to 29. That what are their interests? The Lakers. I'll put basketball, the NBA. Yeah. And if you looked at anything like that, the third swipe up is going to be a sponsored ad of Yazzy Paradise with his basketball because it'll go to you. So like
in a way that's really weird, and it's kind of like, why do you, like it's like you know me better than I know myself. That's what they're kind of saying. I know you better than you know yourself. But like
super scary. Yeah.
It's scary, but at the same time, if you think about it, do you want to see some of the other stuff people want to see? Like what if someone's really into like a death metal, and all of a sudden you just see death
metal?
Right,
then you're like, I don't want to see that. Right, exactly. Right.
So it's gonna be like, I don't want to see this. Oh, that's all I see on here. So like, and that's what makes you stay. But I think with like the what's the word I'm looking for? With the data that they collect, like what you like and everything. Like I think that's kind of like, it's weird. Like I get it.
Yeah.
As long as like my personal stuff isn't like, I don't remember much of the thing. I have to watch it again. I love watching these things over and over again.
Yeah.
It's because it feels like you're learning something new every time.
Oh
like
yeah.
You don't pay attention, and all of a sudden you pay attention, right? I was just saying, like, I feel like in a sense, like, because I keep hearing like they're selling like our information to other countries. I'm like, but what information? Like, are you sending what we like? Like all the stuff that we're liking, or like, is that what you're sending, or are you sending like our actual information?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So yeah. What you doing? Yeah, I'm just doing the podcast. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean that's the whole. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I don't know about that. Yeah, Um, no, yeah, like what would they sell to people, right? So
Yeah.
I read this one article about it, which is like they could actually know more about what Americans are into,
Mm-hmm.
but they can also look at what are people really, really into.
Yeah.
And not just like, okay, that you like basketball and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
there are strong core people in different states that are very smart people, right? And
Yeah.
they have certain knowledge and information about things that like me and you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Because we're just, right, like average human beings, whatever, right? We look
Yeah.
at whatever we look at. But there's some people out here that are dealing with big businesses, that are dealing with information that
Yeah.
me and you don't know about,
Exactly.
but you can find out why, like what they're into based on those algorithms too.
Yeah.
You know, because if it wasn't that serious, then Trump wouldn't take it that far to be like, okay, I'm going to ban TikTok because China and
Yeah.
them were going to get information. Or that
Yeah.
this whole conversation, because I hate to bring up Trump because that's just so irrelevant, but like,
That's all good.
um,
There's
what's
no
it?
they didn't the doctors did not find DNA in his blood. They found USA. That's what he said. What a fucking moron.
Yeah, I heard about
Like what the fuck?
Oh, God.
Ultimate stupid asshole.
Yeah, basically. Um, no, I was gonna say like I forgot the dude's name. I hate that I forget people's names. The guy that he had those conspiracies, right? Like he knew FBI information. I don't know. He's
Alex
online.
Jones.
I know Alex Jones, but there's like legit people that worked for the government. Like they knew inside information and they were
Edward
giving it out.
Snowden.
The one of that, yeah, some guy like that,
Yeah.
for example, right? He gets deep into that stuff, right? Like,
Whistleblowers.
right, whistleblowers. And now they even talk how serious it is for the other countries to not get information. So like it's not just from randoms, right? Like that they're
Mm-hmm.
saying that like we need to be worried it's some conspiracy. Like no, because there really is people that are trying to plot against us like on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say too, because I say this too about like COVID and stuff, which is crazy, right? Like how less than 1% of the population is really getting affected by it if you look
Yeah.
at it by the numbers,
Yeah.
and everything else is getting kind of convoluted between.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with this, right? It's like there's this thin layer that most of us are good. We're
Yeah.
fine. If the government is seeing that where I go and what I do every single day, nothing's gonna happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
This has to do about that small population that has certain information that shouldn't be out to Russia
Yeah.
and China.
Yeah.
So you can't just stop them. You need to make a law to stop everybody, right? You
Yeah.
need to try to control every. Same thing with COVID. You can't just close the border for less than 1% of the population. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
do it because it's for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So
Damn. Well, I was gonna ask this too, like, with the like, okay, you know how like the like, Western culture is, right? Like our culture,
right,
like the freedom, like we do this and everything.
right.
And you know, Eastern culture, right? Like kind of like more like conservative and everything.
Conservative, yeah.
What do you think if that was switched?
If it was switched,
If it was switched, like, do you think the world would be like a way more different place, or like, do you like what do you?
probably, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
Like, do you think the world might be better or worse just because there's like I'm not saying like this is the thing, but like in a sense like China's there, Russia's there, like they're known to be like the bad guys, like quote unquote bad guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, but what if they're like that because this is what's being shown to us by this side?
But what you're saying that they're really not like that?
No, I'm not. Well, I know they're like that, but like, what if the roles were switched, they wouldn't become like that, right?
To
You know what
the-
I mean?
But then we would be like that.
Or would we? Maybe they would treat us differently than what we treat them.
Because the people would just be different.
Maybe they'd just be different. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're trying to say, but it's just so hard to figure what it would actually be like because shoot. The only thing I know that people always say is the fact that we're separated from the whole world, which is crazy to think about, right?
Yeah.
Like us in North America, like we are literally separated from the rest of the world, like Europe
Right.
and Asia and India, and everybody's connected, and yet
Yeah.
we are by ourselves, right?
Yes.
So
that's
maybe
what I'm saying. Like
that's
majority
why
of
you're
it's over
saying
there.
like
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
majority is over
There's-
there. They would have
There's
their
more
own
of
thing, right?
there's more of like a mesh there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's like it as like I mean like I feel like the Russia China part, right? And like maybe some
Mm-hmm.
parts like those like crazy places like
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
see that are bad.
Right.
Maybe those actually are bad, right? And like but like there's so many more countries that are like not, right? So in a sense they can
Mm-hmm.
kind of like in a sense like work together, but you see like they migrate everywhere. Like there's like over there like it's very multicultural kind of thing,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like yeah, so I just really wonder like if it would be like the same or like would I even be would I be here? Would I be back home?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like
very true.
maybe my family doesn't need to move here. Like maybe everyone's
Because they
trying to
would
move
want to go
this
to
way.
China.
It's
Yeah.
exactly.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like maybe people are trying to move over this. Plus, there's so much more land. There's so much more space here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Like, this these are high thoughts, bro. Like,
Yeah, those are really high thoughts. I
that's what
ain't there with you.
I'm.
I'm trying to catch it, but
No, bro. Like, honestly, whoever's listening to this right now, if you understand what I'm trying to say, and like you have an opinion,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
they
Let me
gotta say
know.
something, right? They gotta comment, message us, so we can
Yeah,
continue
for
with it.
sure. Um, so like we're talking about psychology and stuff. So like um, do you think this new generation is like do you think that like social media is raising a bunch of fragile what is it fragile narcissists? Yeah,
I'm very scared for the future, bro.
me too. Me too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I I it's I'm turning 26 in 3 months. Okay. I remember being 15,
Hmm.
and then I look at 15 now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like it's such a there's some similarities just because if you think about it, we're like the guinea pigs to social media,
Hmm.
right? We're the
Yeah.
guinea pigs. So like I think we saw what social media was supposed to be.
Hmm.
Like we were there kind of,
Right.
but then something flipped where we're just going in the bad in like the wrong direction,
Yeah.
and then this next generation is just piggybacking on top of this one where like
Yeah.
because we've seen what it can be and the goodness out of it,
Right.
we have a better conscience about like taking like the better path type thing when using social media and all that stuff.
Right.
Does
The
that make
thing,
sense?
the thing that I would say, there's two things, which is crazy. Like, because I look at my sister, right?
Oh my
She's
god, how old is
15.
Gabby?
She's
Gabby's
15.
15.
So, like you said, right?
Oh
15,
my
our
god,
generation now. So I see what she sees. Now, I'm lucky that she's different than the so-called 15-year-olds that we
that's
see.
good. That's good.
Like,
I feel like she's like a
she,
mini you. Just chill.
she's very chill, and she looks at things very detailed, like,
Really?
sometimes almost like that. This is kind of this is kind of stupid. Like,
Yeah,
why are
yeah.
people even posting this? And I'm like,
More
that's good, right? Like,
conscious.
she's not thinking of it like them, right? That I
Nice.
want to do this, I want to post that. Like, she doesn't even post that. She acts like some people in our age that they're like, that they don't want to post nothing. They're not
Yeah,
even about it,
yeah,
right? Like, that's how she compared to other people that are posting so much and they're all
yeah.
into it, liking this and doing that. And like that's the thing, like we can't predict the future. It's like the same way like how all these other social media platforms came to us and we just kind of rolled with it.
Mm-hmm.
We really can't predict the future. It almost gives me this like look out of it where it's like it could be where people will realize how dumb it is, like how boring it is, like how there's more things to do in life than to just be on social media and to be posting and stuff like that or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So and the fact too is that social media got so big because of phones. I mean, it came at perfect time where the phones just got so sophisticated and so easy to use. These apps came along to make it even easier to use. But everybody's saying that we're not going to be using phones forever. So like social media can't exist the way how we see it now, right? So
What is it gonna be
even though,
Neuralink next?
yeah, like Neuralink, like the contact lens or whatever they
Have you
want to do, like I mean,
have you seen the experiment for Neuralink?
oh yeah, with the pigs,
Yeah, it like
yeah, yeah.
it literally shows which brainwave is for which
Is
limb.
using, right? Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm not
So
getting one, bro.
different, bro.
Would you ever get one? The thing is,
Bro,
like,
I mean, there's certain things about it from what I read, which would be like, it's nice to have.
yeah,
Like some people have dementia, or
yeah,
like that they're gonna start losing their memory, where you can
yeah,
implant that and you can at least like remember things. So that's
yeah.
kind of cool.
But like, do you think it's?
People,
What if they
I
leave a
think
chip in
people,
there?
oh, the chip. I think people are taking it too far though. Like you really
You think
think
so
that
too?
he's
Yeah,
that's like a movie, man. Like what you
yeah.
think he's really the alien? You know that story, Elon's the alien and he's setting us up. He's gonna like have control of us once we all get the chip. Like come on, man.
Hey, man.
Like he's
Listen,
just super smart and
aliens
it's
might be
gonna
real,
help us.
bro.
I know.
I watched that documentary, like
Oh,
for the
bro,
fifth
you
time.
yeah, I gotta get that doc so I can see it. You saw it on Netflix? It's on Netflix?
No, it's on. I had to like,
You gotta send me
I'll
link it.
I'll
Yeah.
give it to you.
The thing is too, but you were saying, right, like with all social media and like with
Yeah,
the future generation, there's like no guidance, bro.
exactly. They think they're. It's like they're
It's
they're out
really
they're out on their
weird,
own.
bro.
No one's gonna raise them.
It
They
just seems like there's no plan for the future for a lot of these
no.
people, bro.
They
And
all think they're gonna be social media
and we
famous.
and a lot of us too, we just kind of there's some of us that like got into that cusp where like maybe finish school and at least they have a career. And then there's some of us that also didn't know what we wanted to do with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're kind of caught in the middle where it's like there's so many opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, I think because of social media, it's making it harder for us to make these type of choices. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
what is going to be our career? What is going to be our life? What are we going to do with our life? Because there's so many more ideas and opportunities than there ever was before.
Right.
Like when you finish school back in the day, like you're gonna probably find a job, you're gonna
Yeah.
just do right. Or if
Yeah.
you found a career after school, you were gonna do that career and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But now there's like these gaps where it's like, well, I could do this because somebody was doing right. I could make a YouTube channel though. Like that's
Yeah.
something nobody has ever said before, right?
Exactly.
Like for me, I could make music. Like there's a way to independently make money now to make music.
Yeah.
It's not like before where you'd have to just perform at a bar at a sideshow and like you won't make too much money out of it and you'd be
You just hope
called
you
just
get
like
known.
right, just hope you get known or something. Now you can't. Actors, you don't have to chase that Hollywood dream. You can make your own movies in your own town. You can meet a couple people and have good cameras and like people that went to school for it and you can do
Yeah.
your own thing now.
Yeah. You can podcast now, bro.
You can
literally just
podcast now, right?
people literally download to listen to me just talk.
Right.
LeBron lovers and haters are gonna be here talking, like listening to me, like, listen, I'm not trying to change your mind, you LeBron lovers, Bron sexuals, as we call them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're wrong that LeBron's the GOAT. He's just not my GOAT, right?
Yeah.
I respect why, but just don't overhype him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Like when LeBron said, like, give me my damn respect. Who doesn't respect you?
Right.
Who doesn't respect you? Just because people say you're not the GOAT, you did. That's not respect. Come on.
Yeah.
Grow up.
I know you're mad about the whole situation, though. We moved away from basketball.
Congrats.
We've been
That's
stopped talking about basketball
Yeah,
20 minutes ago, bro.
Sorry,
Come on.
sorry. We're done talking about basketball. I just had to say that. I had it written down too. But no, like,
Oh
what
man.
were we talking about? Social media, right?
Social media.
Like,
This new generation that's coming
yeah.
up.
Like, I just like. Right.
Oh, you can be gone now.
I'm gonna have a nice sleep.
Give it
after
like
this.
5 minutes. So,
You see me just.
yeah. Like, bro,
Bro, you have to end
we're
the
still
podcast.
alive, bro.
We're still alive. But no, bro, like, I just, like you said, like, I'm really scared for the world. You know what I mean? This new generation, because, like, you be honest, like, I see some people who are our age, right? Who have their lives together, right? They're doing their thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I see others who just, like, they they act like this younger
They act
generation.
like the younger generation. I was just about to
Yeah,
say, bro.
but
Yeah.
this is my theory. Okay,
Okay.
so if I'm born 95, right? But I'm the youngest in my family.
All right.
The oldest in my family is 1980.
Okay.
So me growing up, I was brought up with like their culture
Older
also. So I
people.
I have that understanding, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a 95 kid, but you're the oldest, you get brought up more with that younger generation because you don't have that older influence on you, right? And your parents are probably
Mm,
older.
right. Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think that's when you see like that's why like when I see some people who are my age and like they're just doing nothing and they're just kind of like coasting whatever, doing whatever they
Right.
want, like
Right.
collecting serve, just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And like don't get me wrong, obviously like if you need to collect serve if you have to, right? But there's some people who are like you can
Most people
work.
don't.
You know, like there's some people you can work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
decide to just sit on your ass and collect serve.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't respect that. You know what I mean? Because like I work. You know what I mean? Like I'm busting my ass. Like I'm
Right.
trying to
Right.
earn my money. That's like, but the thing is, that's a very old school way to think.
Right.
Earn everything. Not everything is gonna be given to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you can see the difference. Like you'll notice the younger generation's work ethics aren't as good. No offense, aren't as
Oh,
good
bro.
as the older
Of
as the older
course,
generation.
bro. It's a given. But it's just so hard to say because like there's so many people in this young generation that we would say that they don't have the same work ethic. But then I feel like it's just our perspective because I've worked with guys that are in their 50s and that's not my generation at all, right? That's a long time ago, but
Yeah,
they act lazy at their job.
yeah,
And then I look at it like that was just a whole different way that they grew up, which was for them, our modern YouTube and rap music and becoming famous and stuff was their
mm-hmm.
rock and roll type thing, right? Like becoming that sort of person. A
Just
lot of these
how,
janitors and people that have become something were the people that were playing the guitar and playing the drums trying
yeah,
to become somebody. But
yeah,
they didn't have social media and stuff to help them. So
yeah.
obviously it was a bust. Like they weren't gonna
Everyone
be able
still
to
worked a
do
9 to
anything.
5.
Yeah, work the
Yeah,
9 to 5 and stuff like that, right? So it's not that far away from, I think what we need to lock into is more so what happens to this next generation, meaning like career wise,
we're gonna
like
have some pretty
because,
cool careers.
well, the thing is, why I say that is because the older generation gets away with a job, but a lot of these jobs are going to disappear. So like, yeah, you could slack now, right?
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want and mess around, but you won't be able to fall back onto just a regular job because most of these jobs are going to need you to get your
Work.
act together. Yeah, go
Mm.
to school. You're going to need to be knowing how the computers work. You're going to need to know
Pull
how to
yourself up by the bootstraps.
a whole bunch of stuff that you have no idea about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before it's like, okay, if you played the drums or you did whatever you did, right? Then you could just go ahead and work at McDonald's at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that job won't be there no more because robots are going to be serving everything. So now you're just going to be wandering the streets because you won't really have a job to do because you grew up thinking that, well, I don't want to learn this because that's not for me, right?
Yeah.
School wasn't for me. That's a lot, that's a big thing. But what do you do then, right? If you're saying that school is not for you.
Then honestly, create a business. You know what I mean? Do like you know what I mean? But like in a sense, like when people
Right.
just don't want to do nothing, that's just pure like laziness. That you don't want to try
Right.
anything. You know what I mean? You don't want to do anything. Like
You're
that's why I
stuck.
think
Right.
maybe making a business is the best thing to do because in a sense, you can figure something to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what you like to do. You like to draw, make some paintings, sell some paintings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get better and better and better. Your paintings go more price, like the price
Right.
it gets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but the thing is, it's just because it's not quick. It's not that quick fix. They don't.
And
They don't want to do it.
that's a good point, bro, because
It's not
that
that
quick
quick
fix
fix.
is what we're getting from social media.
Yeah.
So like
Like
subconsciously everything wants to be so fast for everybody now.
yeah, and like I'll be honest with you, I fell victim to that thought, like doing like my YouTube and all that stuff, like my Twitch. I was like, I wasn't like, oh my god, like I'm not popping off type thing. In my head, I was like, everyone, like it seems like these people pop off like that because they're so amazing. Like in my head, I was like, I'm not the greatest like player. I'm not like
Sure.
the most charismatic person. You know what I mean? But like, it's in a sense like I was like, I'm willing to do the work,
Right.
right?
Right.
But because it didn't match my actual 9 to 5 work schedule, I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't I couldn't continue it. But doing
Yeah. Yeah.
but doing this where I can just sit down and
Sit
talk,
down and talk. Right.
right?
Yeah.
And like I love to talk. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then the thing is I love to learn
Good
things,
combos. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So like I don't even know where I was going with that.
No.
But like
Yeah.
the thing is
That's
what I was trying to say is like I found something where I can work like I already know what I want to do with my future, right? This is just something I'm doing. But let's say this is what I wanted to do.
right.
This is something I'd be able to like balance with a real life job
Yeah.
and still flourish in it.
And still flourish.
But
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
have to be patient. And like I understand that now. And like it feels good, like I was telling you earlier, it feels good the fact that we uploaded one like not that long ago. And now we're
Mm-hmm.
recording one right now.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? It feels
Because you
good.
just keep it going. Yeah.
Exactly. It builds up the confidence. Like I have more things I want to talk about. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but because I know that the quick fix is not the way to go, and it's very, very
Yeah.
rare for it to happen. Because I have that realization, that maturity.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm good. But the people who don't, who are just kind of like, no, like it's too hard. Well, what's gonna come easy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Nothing's gonna come easy.
Nothing does. Yeah.
And that's
That's
when
the best thing.
that's when mental illness comes in.
Yeah. 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 I mean, going back, I wanted to ask you because that was the other question. What was the first encounter that you had with Instagram? You remember when you first downloaded it?
Bro, I remember like I don't know what it's like. All I remember is that I promised myself to never try to be a cringy person online. You know what I mean?
Do you remember like downloading it though, or
Yeah,
you
no,
kind of stayed away from it?
I stayed away from it for a while
Okay.
because it just wasn't my thing, and like I personally thought it was cringe because it was like you saw those people and you're just kind of like I don't want to do this because like if I do this
Yeah.
and like I would do my thing. You know what I mean? If you look
Right,
at my Instagram
right.
right now, I rarely post. I think my last post was when I went on vacation, January, almost a year ago. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But like, I mean, like I would love to post more because I'm kind of realizing that this is kind of like it's kind of like my personal time vault.
Yeah. And it is, right?
And it's
That's
organized too. So you can it's really organized. Same with
Yeah.
Snapchat. Like it
That's
organizes
what I
by
always
month.
said.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't look at the cringe aspect of it. I just look. I'm like, yo, like, what am I doing it for? Am I doing it for their reason?
Right.
Like, am I trying to do this? No. I'm trying to do it because I want like memories. I like.
Right.
It's cool. Like I can post it and everything. It's for me,
Right.
and I think that's
And
what the thing it is.
yeah, the thing I was gonna say too is like, for me, social media, what it was, I like to look at famous people. And
Yeah.
especially because of the fact that I was trying to make music, I was following to see what do these famous people do, right? And it was
Mhm.
giving you an insight that nobody ever had before.
Oh, that's true.
So
That's how I
when
kind of look
Twitter,
at Instagram now.
okay, yeah, when Twitter first came out, what was cool, and at the time, Soldier Boy was the guy, if you remember. Soldier
Of
Boy was always on
course.
social media until
Yeah.
now. Actually, he's benefiting, making millions off of like
Yeah.
endorsements and stuff because he was always the first. Like when
Right.
Twitter came out, he was the first to
Yeah.
have like 100 tweets and like
Yeah.
1,000 tweets because he was always like the first one, quick, heavy.
Yeah, and then
So
all the hashtags.
right, like that was something new, right? He's like, I'm chilling at the crib, right? Just
Yeah.
to read that in your mind, which is so normal to us now, but back then it was like, wow, I get to read this. This guy just posted it, and he's and I get to read it, right? Like he's
It's like
sending
he's
it out
talking
to
to
the
me.
world. Yeah, you get that sort of sense of it. Then Instagram, when it came out fairly early, like 2010. Yeah, I
2010.
think 2010,
Yeah.
close to 2011.
Yeah.
And I remember I posted something fairly soon because he was the first to come out with it to say like, I'm joining Instagram. It was like,
Mm.
what's Instagram, right? That old picture thing.
Right.
And that was even a step a step ahead because now you can see his pictures. So he's
Yeah.
posting the picture saying, "Hey, what's up? I'm chilling, da da da," and you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
him too.
And you can
So I
comment,
remember,
and you know he can see it.
and you can comment like it's a
Yeah,
big thing, right? You're like, wow, this is pretty cool. So
yeah.
that was like cool to have at that time. But now, like you could see, it just became a monster of its own. Like
Mm.
now it's something totally different. Like that's not even the main reason why somebody's gonna even go on there because there's so many famous people. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
like we don't all just look to see if somebody's sitting down and stuff. Like there has to be so much more content involved. So much filters. There needs to be video. There needs to be this and that. Like it just became so much bigger than what it intended to be, I guess, at first, right?
Yeah, like okay, what do you think the next app? Because like Facebook kind of died off and all that. Like you know what I mean? Like some of these social medias like are dying
Right.
off. What do you think the next one's gonna be?
Um,
Be
the next one will most likely, what I heard, Gary V,
yeah,
Gary Vaynerchuk, dude.
Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, he always says
So
something
intense.
crazy, but he predicts it, right?
Yeah.
He was saying that it'll probably just be a platform where people will just be streaming. And it'll be kind of like an interweb, sort of when you zoom out of Snapchat and you can see where people are at.
Yeah.
But there will be circles of like these people, and that circle will be playing that live video of whoever it is. And it'll just be a constant 24/7 where you can see anybody that's live streaming anywhere, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the person needs to be streaming though,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what it would be. It would be a place where people are just constantly streaming.
You think this
That's
is the
that's what
future?
the app would be. Like that's what the future would be. Yeah. Like that you don't
Yeah, I can
like
see that.
because like Instagram Live, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like we can always just log in and see somebody's
Yeah.
Instagram Live, right? But that would be like what it would be about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
just be about the fact that we're seeing what people are doing live right now at that moment, and you can just interact with people like that. Like it won't be about posts and stuff
It
like
just be
that.
just live
Yeah,
streaming.
just live streaming.
That's as like I mean if you think about it, that's like what YouTube kind of did with it was and like in real like vlogs whatever like the
Oh
live
yeah.
stream vlogs.
Oh okay. Yeah yeah
Like
yeah.
there was like a kind of a phase where like there was like
Mhm.
live stream vlogs going.
Yeah yeah. I
Um,
mean, and you can see that with Twitch. Like a lot of people just
yeah,
use Twitch just to talk to people now too.
yeah.
It's not
It's
even
not
just
even
about
gaming.
gaming. Yeah.
Um,
So like imagine you had a map like that, right? And you just log into the app and you'd be like clicking on Ottawa and then you see your boy like filming outside the parliament. Then you zoom out and go to New York and you see people walking through Soho to the new street and then you can see that right and you're just seeing what people are doing
oh,
live.
that's what's it called? Snapchat does that when you like zoom
Yeah.
out to the map. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm saying though, right? Those are posts.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
saying more so that like because his whole aspect is like it's not even gonna be about the phone anymore because like you might just have like contacts or like glasses and stuff, so you'll just be seeing it through the eyes of other people the whole time, right?
Oh my lord.
you
Can you imagine
know,
that?
isn't that crazy?
Ah,
Man.
like
I mean, that's what we do nowadays, anyways. We could sit in our room and watch one dude go live stream in his bedroom, the other dude's outside chilling with his boy, right?
yeah.
Like, you can do that nowadays too. It's just that it's off the phone. Like, imagine how much crazier it's gonna be later on.
Oh
God, man.
no. I would get goggles or like glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd get that. I
That's what
wouldn't
they're
get
gonna do.
nothing is going to be injected or like surgically like put into my brain.
Put it to your brain.
How about that? Like fuck
Yeah.
man. Oh. No, so okay, so do you think if that's the case, then do you think like anxiety and everything is gonna keep getting higher, or do you think like maybe this live stream thing might be like the new thing that's gonna keep everyone like okay?
Well, what do you think? Do you think that anxiety is gonna be more so a problem?
Bro, I'll be straight up with you right now. I don't know how like because half of this stuff I feel like this I don't want to say this and like get like hate on it, but like understand that like this is no offense to anything or anyone, but like I feel like it's kind of like a trend to have a mental illness. You know what I
Bro.
mean? Like people say that for like attention, but like or like people say that because they think the littlest inconvenience is that major.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like I think that at its in itself, to think something like for that in itself is a separate mental illness.
Yeah.
You're not like I don't know, man. Like it's hard because like you see people who actually deal with it, and like you see like the problems they go through, and then you
Yeah.
see the other people who like claim they have it, and then you're just like, if you look at yourself, you're not doing anything to help yourself. I mean, it's very obvious you're putting it on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You can't get too much into it because like it's because like you don't want to say the wrong thing, and then all of a sudden like
Yeah.
take out of context, right?
Right.
But that's just what I mean. Like it's very hard to take it seriously because of all because there are people who do fake it or just over exaggerate it, and it ruins it for the rest of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like sometimes I'm sad, right? Like I'm so sad that I feel like I'm legitimately depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where like, but I'm just really sad. Like I'm functioning. Like
Right,
you know I mean?
And you're allowed to feel like that sometimes.
Exactly, and like, and Joe Rogan's podcast with that psychiatrist, whatever, he was even saying like, one way to get treated for it is that it has to like affect you in a way where you're incapable of doing anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're able to like continue with your day, but then like you go through these humps, but you're still able to go through your day, then it's more of you need someone to talk to. Maybe you need to let something out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
that's human nature, right?
Exactly, but I just think, oh, it says poor connection. Am I frozen?
Oh, I see you though. No, I see you.
Okay. What was I gonna say again? But yeah, so like, how was I gonna explain this? So with that being said, like the what's I'm looking for? Sucks when you're high.
Anxiety,
yeah, like with it increasing, right? And it does. I really don't know if it's going to decrease because you do have that, like that generation coming up. I'm not saying they're all like that, but like you do have that generation coming up now where it is very common, right? Do you think it's gonna get higher and higher? Because like that shit does. It's like that shit spreads through like genes, right? Right. So like if that keeps happening and you're like that, do you think it just keeps breeding where like kind of we like go decline as a human race, or do you think like in a sense we need to stop being kind of like soft?
Yeah, we definitely need to stop being soft. That's one of the biggest things.
Like right, and like we need to kind of like be more like just kind of straightforward. And hence the name of the podcast. Let's be blunt.
So yeah, let's be straight up. Right?
Yeah, but I just feel like it's because people can be so disrespectful sometimes when trying to bring up a subject, where it's kind of like people like all you have to do is just speak properly to people, right? And that's the issue. No one knows how to speak to each other sometimes because everybody has an ego, right? No one wants to. No one likes to take an L, right? No matter how small, right? No, how big.
Like, well, it's just so different, man. I think definitely the anxiety thing is just gonna keep going up. Like so many people are just stressed out about the smallest things, bro. Yeah. Like I don't understand that, man. Like I've been through a whole lot for what I could consider a lot for myself, like just for my own life. Like I had to think about like 100 different things to try to figure out what am I gonna do in my life, not because I'm just sitting in my house and like I need to figure out, should I go to school? Should I go to work? No, it's like lifeline type things or like moving around and like big time decisions, you know, like put a lot of responsibility on my back and like things like that. But it's like, that's just part of life. Like you just need to, so it's hard for me to understand where these people are getting this whole thing from, you know, to get anxiety over these small things. But I guess because they never faced anything big. So like for them, that's something big, right? Yeah. So like that's what the generation will have. Like they will have more anxiety because like they don't know how to deal with the smallest things. Yeah. So like when life keeps getting harder, they're gonna have more anxiety. So do you that's why.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say also like with the whole weed aspect too. Like it's all coming into play to like more people have it legal and like a lot of people just want to have something to just rely on because they don't know what to do with themselves anymore. You know, like it does help them.
Yeah, and like in a sense, it's like I'll be very, very honest with you. This stuff is not addicting at all. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like, yes, I smoke it like every day, but like in a sense, it's like I have my times when I do it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
When I need to just relax. You know what I mean?
Right.
Breathe, like right. I just chill, cause like
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, like sometimes you cloud your own judgment, and I feel like weed really like weed really clears that those clouds. You know what I mean? Because it relaxes you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Definitely.
but yeah, like with the like anxiety and like the brain and stuff and like the psychology and stuff like um do you it's gonna link together, but this is another question. Do you think that the universe is like alive? Like, do you think like the world is alive?
Alive meaning what?
Alive meaning like everything just like there's everything just happens. Like
In sequence?
we can stop doing everything, but like stuff is still happening around us that we can't see.
Oh yeah, bro,
Do you
for
know what I mean?
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so.
So like because like that documentary I was talking to you about, I was watching it
Oh yeah, yeah.
and they're talking about brain waves, right? And like when certain brain waves like go off, like
Uh-huh.
can the universe detect our brain waves type thing, and like it can be spread across.
Mm.
Have you heard of it at all? I can't remember what the thing was called.
I don't know if it's something like that, but I did listen to something where somebody was saying how our brain waves, whatever we're thinking of, right? Like it's shooting neurons, right? Like
Yeah,
they're wavelengths, right?
yeah. It's
So
like a
like
charge.
it's a charge. So
Yeah.
like if I'm sitting quietly in my room and I'm thinking of something,
Mm-hmm.
you might not know what I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
but it's energy, and that energy
Yes,
has to be released somewhere.
and it's
So
released
like,
into the
right. And
into around you.
I know we're talking about like aliens or about other things
Mm-hmm.
in that sort, but in this aspect, I think if I remember correctly, someone was talking about how, you know that book, The Secret, where like if you think it, then you can actually like you'll have it in
Manifest
your
it.
life, right? You'll
Yeah.
manifest it, right? You just need to
Yeah.
think of it.
Yeah.
Well, because that goes hand in hand. Like realistically, when you are thinking about something, you are releasing something
Yeah.
into the world,
It's like you speak it into existence.
speaking into existence, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm speaking right now, it's going out into the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't stop it from other people hearing it, and
Mm-hmm.
it is being spread apart. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
energy that I'm releasing into the world. So
Yeah.
yeah, that could definitely be it. Imagine all the
Um,
energy, all the wavelengths that we're pushing out as a human race out into the universe.
bro, do you remember I was telling you that when the Raptors lost, that like I was really high, right? But like I felt like I can feel everything just shift.
Mm.
Remember I was telling you this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like that's what I'm saying. Like when I thought of it and and I saw that, right? I was like, oh
yeah.
shit! Like this is what I felt.
Right.
Yeah, I felt that wave like change, and like they were saying they had these experiments where they left these sensors all across the world,
Mm.
and it senses brain waves.
Okay.
So during like the brain waves is all good and everything, you can see it during like catastrophic events like Princess Diana's car crash, uh 9/11, like world like crazy world events.
Okay. Right. Right.
They saw that the brainwaves in the world completely like you can see it change,
Whoa.
right? And so and like okay, do you remember Avatar?
Okay.
Did you watch that movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know how they're so like like it, like mind body spirit type thing, like they're just like
Mm-hmm.
in line and everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that like in a sense like now thinking about like the brainwaves and how like in a sense it does affect the thing around us, if we can kind of like get zoned in, so if you can zone in,
Yeah.
do you think in a sense that can possibly like cure in a sense anxiety? It can probably do
It
better for,
can.
you know what I mean, do better for the world in a sense like
Yeah.
you can actually do something. You can probably like the understanding these waves that coming out, you can actually do something with it.
You can. Yeah. You can.
It's what Conor McGregor said, right?
I believe in that too. Yeah, he did say that.
Right, you just gotta believe in it, and if you can speak into existence, it's there.
Then it's there, and I believe that, bro.
And that's why I'm a strong believer of of believing something, like faith. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when people say like you can't see God, like what makes you believe, like, and if I don't have any answers, in a sense of like I can't be like, well, this happened, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is that, like, I just believe it.
Yeah.
I have faith in it.
And that'll help.
Exactly.
That'll just be yeah.
So, I think
that's facts.
In a way like that, like, people just need to start, like, in a sense, believing. You know what I mean? Like, and that, again, that kind of ties in with social media.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're jealous that these people are doing this and all this stuff. You're trying to achieve something that's not for you. You can find that happiness by doing something else, but you gotta
by doing your own thing. Right.
Doing your own thing. Be your own self. Too many people are trying to be fucking each other. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's Hollywood. You never know.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
I mean, if you're on Epstein's Island, that's all that was happening during these.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We've been on for like an hour and 50 minutes. I can only upload like 2 hours.
Okay, so then it's gonna be perfect right now.
This is gonna be perfect right now, bro. That was a good talk.
Great talk.
There's like I do want to talk about aliens and stuff, cause like there's
always
because of that the documentary I saw.
Yeah,
there is a lot more information I got, and like these are like government documents. And like this is legit, and like it's from like the like the website legit. And everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from the website and everything.
Right.
But no, like next episode, obviously we'll do this.
Oh yeah, bro.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
See
you next time.
I will.
Have a good night, bro.
Happy
early
bro.
Thanksgiving. Well, maybe our next episode will be on your Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Peace out.